All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Lego. I know it's been a while, but we're back. Good to see you, Andrew. And tonight we have an insanely special guest. We're super excited to welcome RR Slugger to the channel. So welcome, my friend.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, to get into it, I mean, starting right off the bat here, we're going to be talking about life on Mars. I knew that was a theme that was near and dear to your heart, Slugger.
Mm-hmm.
And then Andrew, I knew you'd said you had owned the sets and like had some experience with it as well. So I thought it would be a fun one. Seems like a kind of like in the same vein as like Rock Raiders. It's a bit of a cult following, kind of fan favorite of certain groups of people. So I thought it would be fun to talk about. So welcome everyone.
A little underrated.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, I was expecting more, especially with the T3 Trike and the Solar Explorer being the only human vehicles in the whole theme. I was expecting more of that.
Oh, and that little tiny poly bag, I think.
I wanted more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the human vehicles were phenomenal. These were some of the better sets, I think, for some of the space stuff. They looked very unique to this theme. There's that one. Yeah, that was the other one. So I think there are three. Yeah, technically three little ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the Monojet. I really love the color scheme that they chose, like the medium blue slope pieces in with like the white and the grays. I think it just really pops. I love it.
Yeah, very unique, cool builds. And we'll get into the other two human vehicles as well. Not to mention all the phenomenal innovations and really cool colors that this theme comes with too. So, I mean, it's really going to be a fun one tonight. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, we got a few comments. Just want to say hello to everybody. Lego Granddad.
Awesome.
Retro Red Coats. Happy Monday to you. Says he loves all three of our content. So happy. Andrew Auburn. Let's go.
Let's go.
And James Westman.
Good to have you. Yeah, we got some regulars in here. It's really good to see you guys all tonight.
Yeah, sorry, man. I got busy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Welcome. We're happy to be back. Well, we've missed a few lives as well. Mason, we've been out a couple weeks as well. So we're trying to we got a schedule going again, and we're hoping to get these every Monday again. So
yeah,
announcement. Yeah.
Announcement. Jason has now moved the videos up 1 hour earlier. He does that a lot. So
yeah,
we're now running at 5 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. your time, right?
Yes.
And Slugger, are you on Eastern?
Mountain Daylight.
What is that?
It's got to be Canadian, right?
Yeah,
is that like Wisconsin or something?
It's actually 4:30 here right now. Yeah.
Okay. So you're right in the middle, really, right? I mean,
whoa.
I'm kidding. It's 4 p.m. where I'm at. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's 4.
Yeah.
So he's an hour. Yeah. So he's technically Eastern.
Okay. Perfect.
Right? No.
What?
I don't know. Who cares?
I don't care. Hey, he's on. Like, that's all I care about. Speaking of Slugger, speaking of you, why don't you give us a quick rundown, quick introduction, and let us know kind of what your journey in Lego has been. It can be just real quick, just so people know who haven't necessarily seen your stuff or know what you're about.
Sure. Yeah.
When did you get into Lego? Kind of what's going on with you, and then we'll jump into this thing.
Yeah. How old are you? Good. How many kids you got? What's your
social security number?
Social security number. Yeah. Actually, it's social insurance number here in Canada. But anyways,
that's new. I didn't know that.
My name's RR Slugger. I have loved Lego my whole life. I grew up with a lot of the early, 90s space stuff, and then obviously into the 2000s with this. I kind of entered what I would call my dark age around 2005, 2006. And then I just didn't do anything related to Lego for the next 15 years. And then just decided to, make a YouTube channel where I talk about some of the old Lego that I enjoyed growing up with and acquiring as an adult now, kind of looking at it with a new set of eyes. So that's kind of the stuff that I look at on my channel.
Cool. Let me ask you this. With you saying that and in those words, what do you think about the new style of building that's coming out on all these more advanced adult sets?
So, some of it is really ambitious and really cool.
I would agree.
I definitely look at Barracuda Bay as one that I just loved when I was constructing that.
Yeah, same.
But one of the things that I don't like so much about modern Lego is I'm really into the angular look of these older bricks, these old slopes and stuff like that. And a lot of modern Lego uses curved off edges that just to me isn't visually as appealing. So I don't really gravitate towards that sort of stuff. So basically from 2002 kind of onwards, it's like a whole new face of Lego. They kind of changed into the smooth sort of aesthetic. And so my home, what makes me feel good about Lego is before 2002.
So he likes Blacktron because they got hard lines like a Lamborghini.
We got some Blacktron 2 for you right here.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Slugger. For the most part, you've seen my content. You've seen what I do on Instagram. It's mostly in that same vein as the pre-2000s style stuff for the most part.
Totally.
But yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, Jason, but I really do want to emphasize it's not just nostalgia talking in that case. It is a visual preference. For example, growing up, I had far more Lego Island Extreme stunt sets than I had Rock Raider sets, and yet I knew at the time I don't really like these Lego Island Extreme stunt sets as much as I like Rock Raiders, right? So it's not just nostalgia that's fueling those sorts of things, right?
Okay, yeah. Well, that's an interesting perspective. A lot of people fall back on nostalgia only, which I've probably been guilty of as well, which is totally fine, I suppose. It's not a problem, but to have a deeper perspective of actually knowing that it's not just, I grew up with this, but it's actually, I prefer the design styles, choices, and brick pieces and things like that in these, as opposed to maybe some of the other stuff. So that's
totally. I couldn't have said it better. Very nice.
That's cool. Cool, man. Well, without further ado, thank you so much again for joining everyone.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, Slugger as well. So let's talk about life on Mars.
We will jump in there in just a second. Lady Bricks, hello. Andrew Auburn's coming in late with the 6 p.m. Eastern from Atlanta.
A salute.
Welcome. Sisu saying hello.
Hey. Good to have you.
And the Kind Crusader. Hello, everybody. Good to see you.
Kind Crusader back in the house. Awesome.
Yep.
Welcome,
sorry for the delay, guys. I got a little busy and, it is what it is, right?
Hey, life happens. Yep.
Life happens. Comes at you fast, right? You ready? All right, here's the first slide. Some of these, now a lot of these, well, I want to say right offhand, 1195 was like a special one-off.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then all these other little ones were both polybag version and a box version. So I labeled them as the box version by the number that I put in the slide. But the image may be the polybag number. So just if anybody's checking up on me, right? Checking my data, that's where the disconnect came from. But they have the same name.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and so here we see. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I've got a few things I can say about some of these sets that are on screen right now. But if you want to take it, Jason, you can.
All I'm going to say is here we see a couple more examples of some human vehicles here, and I forgot about these ones, but just the tiny little. This is like the one the Rover here on the with the little tiny white wheels. That's basically their equivalent of the Shell Promotional, I would say, from like the little Johnny Thunder or like Fright Nights mini pack ones. But,
totally.
So it's a little funky. Although actually, I would say this is much more practical than some of those other ones we've seen. So
no kidding.
what
was that? Yeah. Anyway, we're not going to get into those, but
1195, the alien encounter here. This was I think it was a Quaker Oats promotional thing. If you bought a certain amount of Quaker Oats, you'd send in your coupons or whatever.
Okay.
And I've had people say that's how they got their hands on that set way back when.
Yeah, it was also like a limited release in like Holland or something weird like that.
Yeah,
for
something
a minute.
Really bizarre. I think what's really cool about that one, and I don't have it here with me, but the flip side of it, the other side of the polybag actually has an alternate build printed on the back. So there is an alternate build for that set, which is really strange.
Cool.
That is kind of odd for a tiny set like that, especially a promotional set.
They do all kinds of weird promotional things.
That's true. You know what's funny about that set in particular is I have 10 of them sealed in their bags for no reason. I found them on eBay once, and it was like, here, buy 10 for like $40 or something stupid like that. And I was like, okay, because I want more Martians. And then the crew member, he's like the generic crew guy, and you can always populate the human camps or whatever with the little the crew members. So I was like, yeah, I'll buy these as basically a battle pack, not really knowing that it was a random.
You're talking about the 1195?
Yeah, 1195, dude. I'll send you one.
I was gonna say, you better send me one.
I literally have like 11 of them in sealed.
There is no reason for you to have 11 of them, especially if they're still in the bag. You still haven't done anything
Andrew,
with
how
them.
many Blacktron cruisers do you have?
I have, I don't know, 7 or 8, but they're all open.
Fuck off.
They're all open.
Okay, we'll do a trade. I don't have a Blacktron cruiser. We'll do a trade.
There's actually some pretty cool pieces in that 1195 set. Those tiny wheels.
Yeah,
in light gray, they're exclusive to that set.
Yeah, light gray. Those are hard to find.
Dang. Yeah,
dude. Yeah, that's awesome. I need
at least 3 of them, Jason.
Yeah, I'll send the opened one.
That's fine. I don't care.
Just the one. No, it's a cool set. It's got a great little alien guy. Do you know the name of that guy?
That's Vega. Yeah,
Vega.
That's Vega. Yeah.
And then that's just the generic crew guy, I think.
Yeah, he goes by Assistant is his name, which is a strange name, but yeah.
And there are more than one of him.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, the other two are just standard sets, right? I mean,
now we talked about how they're promotional sets, and now here's something that I've got, and I'll try to bring these on screen here.
Bring you in.
So yeah. Let's bring it around.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So these are sealed kabaya sets. So these were with the kabaya suites in Japan. I had to order these from Hong Kong, I think it was. And I've got the whole set, the whole series here. I haven't opened them yet.
That is awesome. See, this is why you're here, man. You're bringing the fire.
So that'd bring them out, show them off on screen. Now, of course, they did release these over in like in the States and Canada, across the world. Like I had this one growing up, but of course it wasn't the kabaya packaging, and it didn't have the combiner models. And that's
I didn't even know they had combiner models. That's
awesome. I didn't know anything about that. So but then again, I was just here in America, not knowing what's going on around the world. You know,
that's true, right? Yeah,
those are really cool.
On the inside here, they should have instructions printed on the inside of the box. I don't know if you guys ever seen what's on the inside of these kabaya boxes. But when you rip them open, you can see the perforation along the side here. You rip them open, and then they become a folded out instruction manual. It's printed on the reverse side of the cardboard. It's kind of strange.
No idea.
Yeah,
I had no idea. That's awesome. Dang. Yeah, I have this little guy. I know I have that guy.
Yeah. So he's pretty neat too, and the backs are all the same on all of them.
Okay.
And then the last one over here as well too.
I like that one. I don't have that one yet. That's a cool one.
Yeah. So anyway,
I don't know if I'd ever. I don't know if I'd ever even open those.
No.
Yeah.
I might not. I'd probably keep those.
I will, but you know.
I mean, do you have them? Do you have them otherwise?
I do, but I want what's inside of them as well too, because they do have a fold-out page of instructions and posters and whatnot.
Well, maybe just open up one.
Here's the thing: I'm a pretty big proponent of opening sealed Lego sets from ages past. Maybe that's not a good thing, but I think my take. We've said it multiple times. I think Andrew, you're mostly on the same page with that. If you're not going to open it, sell it. Buy a used one or something, right? That you don't care as much about. But if you're just buying hordes of Lego sealed to sit on shelves, I'm not. That's why. So I don't know.
Yeah, I bought them to open them. That was the goal, at least. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for showing those. That's awesome.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. So we've got these 3 little guys here, and then the next set of those little ones.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And this includes the Monojet, which we looked at there.
I actually have the box for that one over here too.
Very cool.
Yeah. Now, one of the cool things about the Monojet that isn't parodied in the other larger Life on Mars sets is this one actually does have a proper alternate build.
Oh, nice.
On the back here.
That's
and
right.
as luck would have it, I have that also constructed over here as well too.
That is so good. I love it.
Nice.
So came prepared in that regard there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I knew you'd bring some awesome value to what we're doing.
Thanks,
so
guys.
We definitely appreciate it. So Andrew, before we jump into the bigger sets, did you want to check the comments? Is there anything you want to address at all, or?
I mean, there's a bunch of people talking.
There always is.
Yeah, Mirko's in here. He says, "Hey, what's going on? Finally have Slugger on the show."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've been talking about it.
Sisu saying hi to Mirko. The Kind Crusader was saying 7308 looks cool, but 7309 is a big goofy. He's talking about these two here.
730. Yeah, that's why I pointed it out as being closer to one of the shell promotionals. I
yeah,
still
they
think
are.
it's
They're
better
very close.
because
Yeah.
It's got that rover feel. It's a different planet. Like I give it a little bit of a pass, but yeah.
Sisu saying, "Don't forget the like button, everyone." That's right. Don't
I was gonna say, yeah, drop a like if you're having fun. Yeah, we appreciate that. Helps the video. So.
And he's saying 11. That's at least 7 fun giveaways, Jason. So I've got 1, right? So that leaves you with 6 left to give out.
We should do more of that kind of stuff. I haven't figured out the best way.
I know. I've got a pile of stuff to give away, to do giveaways with.
We'll try and bring one. I'd like to do that. Maybe we could try and talk about that and get something going. Maybe at least once a month or like every other month or something. Just to
a good idea.
Add some spice. I like that. But no, I'm keeping all my life on Mars. Get out of here.
Jason, you can't just keep everything that you have because it's not fair. You need to share it with everyone.
What is this? I mean,
sharing is caring, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know what to say to that. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. So when are you sharing all your Blackfront cruisers? I guess.
I'm not. Sorry.
How about this? I don't care, so I ain't sharing.
Well, do either of you guys have anything to talk about as far as these little guys here?
Not in terms of these little guys.
I like the design of the 7303. I think it's cool. It's like kind of a more almost looks like a utility type vehicle. Although it has those things on the side. I don't know. I like it. It looks interesting to me. And then of course the Monojet thing is pretty fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a cool concept. It looks like it's somewhat balanced too.
It's not bad, you know. I was trying to roll it around a little bit earlier. It does go, but it is a little bit heavy on the front side here. It does
Did they put
into it?
Did they put a skid plate on the front of that?
They did not.
That would have probably fixed that.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. They could have put that little round upside down circle guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It also could have used probably not a washer, but you know what I mean, one of those Technic bushing pieces in the middle there to kind of hold this wheel in place a little bit better.
Well, that's why they should have hired us, I guess. What can I say?
Dude, yeah, that's a serious pet peeve of mine right there.
Well, a couple quick parts that are very inexpensive could fix that up.
Yep.
Right. I will say, when I was building this right here, this custom Blacktron,
ooh,
I actually have all kinds of pins and bushings all the way across the whole axles.
Nice.
Just because I don't like them to slide.
Yeah.
Give yourself a zoom in so we can see that a little better, Andrew. Is that
all right?
custom,
One time.
Is that because now what is that set base?
Look at that.
It's one of the it's like a better version of the
Is it the Batrax?
The Batrax,
yeah. This is like the Batrax. It's like much bigger. It has all the function of the Batrax as well.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Oh, this is awesome, Andrew. Well done.
That's cool. So it's like if this was
got the shocks.
Okay. And you got the new windscreen from the new Galaxy Explorer.
Yeah, I got that from the Galaxy Explorer. But overall, I mean, it all this comes out and the back comes off, makes a little jet. So
very nice.
But yeah, I mean, everywhere, even on the front axle, you can kind of see them if I show the light just right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All different kinds of bushings, pins, and then I got the one circle piece in there with a bushing on the inside of that. just so
I see what you're talking about. Yeah,
the wheel doesn't move side to
Yeah.
side. It's perfectly stable.
so it's all spaced out correctly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
Nice.
so when you said it was a pet peeve, you weren't kidding.
I was not kidding. Super anal about that, man.
Cool, man. No, I love it. I like that too. I like everything to fit correctly like that. So that's really nice.
Perfect.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks
Thanks,
for
man.
all the comments, guys. We'll keep monitoring that as well as we can. Try to get to
Click and Cliff says, "Yo, everyone."
Yo.
Brian's Bricks. Life
Hey,
on Mars.
Brian.
Hey.
Monojet was my first LOM set. Loved it. It's very good. Missed out on these. And then Mirko writing a book over here.
He's addressing you, Slugger.
Yeah. Hey,
you
Slugger,
would
what's
not
happening with the
believe-
Orient Expedition videos? Will you continue with those?
Every single day of my life since it's just like, hey, when's the next Orient Expedition video coming out? Every single day. It's so funny. It's the Scorpion Palace. It's a big video. It takes some time. It takes a long time.
The Scorpion Palace is an awesome set.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm doing a
love
board
that
game
set.
review as well with it. It's going to be like a 40-minute video. It's just going to take some time, guys.
Heck yeah. No, my wife bought me that set. It's insane. She bought it sealed for one of our anniversary.
Oh,
presents.
nice.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
totally awesome. And I definitely opened it.
Yes.
Orange is in here saying hello.
Hey, good to have you.
Mirko says, great batter act. I wasn't trying to draw any attention away. I was just pointing out the bushing problem that we have on the Monojet.
Hey, it's a great mock.
I wanted to draw some attention to it.
Brian's Bricks is saying that Slugger fans will track him to the end of the earth.
True. Your fans are loyal to the death.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, let's move on to this.
Sure.
This guy here.
Big guys. Yeah.
Yeah, planetary or Red Planet Cruiser is interesting. That had a hopping function. Like that was its mode of transport, which is very interesting.
Just gonna hop around.
Didn't it have the click hinges? It was like
Yes.
click, click, click.
Yep. Clicky joints. We always call them the clicky joints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that replaced the old prong hinge, right?
yeah, like this fingered hidden.
I have
things.
plenty of the old ones.
Same. I always swoop them up whenever I see them. So.
I always just buy them in black. Every version of the prong ones in black I have. Like multiples of. The 2, the 3, the long 3, the long 2. The 1x6 with the 3 and the 2 on the opposite side. That's for horses. We all know what all the purposes are for.
Yep.
Yep. Here's what's interesting. Andrew, you said you liked the red mech. I can't remember what it's called better.
Yeah.
Here, I guess for me, what sticks in my head about this blue one here, the Red Planet Protector, I think it might have been featured in like a promotional or something, because it seems like to me this is the face of life on Mars. This mech here. I don't know why. Maybe. I mean, I think it might have been also featured in the Lego Racers 2 game.
It was definitely a boss in the Lego Racers 2 video game.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe that's also cemented in my brain a little bit. But and then I'm pretty sure this one is the one that has the wing pieces that come off in the cockpit can fly.
Totally.
Yeah, let's zoom in on Slugger.
Do that here.
Show that.
Hang on. Let me
Right on
get
the
in
place
there.
today. Yeah.
There you go.
So these big old engine pieces here, I really wish they would have stuck around longer. I think they're cool pieces, but they basically retired them right afterwards.
I love those pieces.
Yeah. I've modified mine here with black Technic pins here. Normally these would have, it'd just be the solid brick with no friction. So anytime you'd lift up on this thing, the thing would just fall, right?
Oh, sure.
But now you can actually pose it if you put in the black
Nice.
Technic part there. Yeah, and you've got this weird Scala piece here, this big dark gray Scala piece making its last appearance before they retired the mold entirely.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's a table from Scala. And that's actually the reason why when you flip it off this side, it looks so strange on the end here. This is the Scala connection type on top.
You're right.
That's weird. That
Is
might as well
wild.
be Fabuland.
Right?
Yeah, he's going off on the Fabuland thing.
All right. So,
now,
and then
hang
I
on.
think you flip them around
Did
this way.
did it come in only in this set in that color though?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So they molded it completely in a new color just for this, and then discontinued it right after.
Totally. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It used to come in like colors like I think orange and light turquoise.
Sure.
Which used to be a color. Yeah.
The more
so,
pastel.
Yeah, more
type
pastel
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a cool piece. It's a neat piece. Yeah.
I like it. It works really well for this, honestly.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Oops, my tubes are coming off here. Anyways, this is what it looks like when you kind of convert it to flight mode. Now, there was a number of really weird things that went on with this set during its production life cycle. They had to change the instructions halfway through because they changed out some of the colors of some of the parts in here. I think it was in this part here. I think this one was blue in one edition of it. This is the double hold.
Yeah, the double wide.
Yeah. Or maybe it was this piece that was blue. I can't remember. One of the sides was blue at some point.
I hate that double
I
piece.
swear the tubes changed over the course of the life cycle too, because there's tubes that have black ends on them that are these big ones, and there's tubes that have dark gray. And the one I had growing up had black ends on both. I remember that very distinctly. But this one has dark gray, and on Bricklink it says it comes with dark gray. So I felt like I was being gaslit by Bricklink there a little bit.
For real. Yeah, it's hard to say. Sometimes something like that happens and it's not really addressed, and you kind of wonder.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute. But yeah, so what you're pointing out right here actually is a good point about this whole theme is that it almost every single one of the larger builds has a modular feature and a transformative feature. And that's one of the things that I really liked about this theme as well. It was multifunctional. So like everything seemed to have a purpose and then could also transform or do other cool things with it. So
totally.
I really like that. Yeah. Oh, and those windscreens are unique to this theme first, right, too?
I think so, yeah.
Those are cool. I love those too.
Yeah. Using those ratchet
Is that
points.
Transparent black?
It is, yeah, like the old trans black, yeah.
That's cool. Awesome. So that's the Red Planet Defender. Is that what that's called?
Red Planet Protector.
That's right.
Yeah, both of these sets in the slide here are Red Planet Protector.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, nice.
I never noticed that.
And then the red mech.
Yeah,
it's the
recon
mech.
A recon research type mech. It's not a battle mech.
Which is funny because it's equipped with a massive flamethrower.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, maybe it's melting rock, Jason.
We're gonna help the astronauts with cleansing fire.
I guess it could be maybe. Cleansing fire. the great Martian crusades that are not documented.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I mean,
big old flamethrower.
You could call it a welder or some other functional tool, but the thing is, it's got that flame up on the forearm and that huge tank. I can only assume is a fuel tank.
Exactly right.
Right.
Now the cool thing, obviously, with these is that they're all interchangeable with each other as well too, and so you could do something like this and bring the legs over from the other guy.
Yep, I actually have done.
Piece them together. Yeah. And then sometimes you'd use these like intermediate connectors that they used in the Bionicle series. And you can piece them together like that.
You can make these crawlers with multiple legs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe put the few tank on the back there.
Yep.
And,
so that was the thing. It was you could combine things, and they all their vehicles were multifunctional.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal, man. I actually liked. I would sometimes put this one in particular because the tank would balance it if you took the tank and put it on the back of it at that lower position and put the feet forward a little bit. It had this low profile, almost like that thing from RoboCop.
Right. So are you referring to like that sort
something
of
like that? Yeah, and I would like sometimes if you have multiple of these sets, you could have a couple down low and then some of those standing up tall, and it would kind of look like a variation on it.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
That is cool. Yeah, I'll get the other one out of the way. Yeah.
Retro Redcoat says he really loves that red mock. It's a bit like has a bit of an Imtron vibe to it, and I would agree with him.
Yep. Just put a magnet instead of the grabby arm here, and I think you're good.
100%. Cool, man. These are good sets. I really like them.
Yeah.
The bouncy one is fine. It's not Nothing super.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't bring that one upstairs, but yeah, that one's downstairs still.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
Well,
I also like the transparent blaster, whatever you call that piece.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
didn't that come on insectoids first in that color?
I believe it's set exclusive in this color.
Oh really?
This piece, yeah.
Which piece is it here? I'm gonna bring you back up real quick.
Yeah, sounds good.
Dude, it's a transneon green. Dude.
Yeah. Now, actually, I've got something else I can bring out here too. So it is set exclusive to that set, other than the service pack. That's the accessory pack that came with this set as well too. So I've got this one, and you can see there it is. It's kicking around on the inside. So yeah,
so Life on Mars too. Service pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the other cool thing about this one is these sand green dish pieces. There's 2 of them in here, and those only came out in this pack as well as the aerotube hanger. And these are worth a couple of bucks a piece these days. They're actually really tough to track down because they've never made them since for whatever reason. So if you want sand green dish pieces, yeah. So every time I'm on Bricklink, I try to pick up a few more. So I've got a bit of a collection of them now. Yeah, you never know what you're going to need them for, but you know.
That service pack is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. I got one of the only ones on Bricklink. And I'll open it eventually, but you know, let's keep it sealed for now.
Gotta love crisp Lego from the 2001s.
Totally.
Yeah, so that piece is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, Andrew, I figured you'd like that one. I feel like that's something you could expand into other space themes.
Oh yeah, I could do all kinds of crazy stuff with that. So the other one here is the T3 trike, which was one of my personal favorites of the entire theme.
Me too.
Yep, the suspension on that was real nice.
Yeah,
I wish I would have brought it upstairs so I could have showed it off. But yeah, I've got 2 of them built right now. One of them's in the original colors like this, and then another one I swapped out the blues for oranges to kind of make it blend in with I think it was the 2019 space theme that they had at the time. And it looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Mission to Mars, was that?
Yeah, something like that.
The little green jelly aliens.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that one. I don't know if that one will ever show up here. We'll see. There's some cool builds in it, but it's a little. Those aliens really killed it for me.
Yeah, don't have me on the show if you're going to talk about it. So.
Sounds good. Yeah, no, I love. I think I have 2 of those as well. One's in a box, but the box is like someone sat on it or something when I that's why it was cheaper for me to buy it. But I picked one of those up as well in the box, so I'll probably open it because these are the tiny things you can have 1 or 2, maybe 3 of these. Set up a base camp, have a couple of these rovers going around, make the actual atmosphere.
It's definitely one of those vehicles, and if I remember correctly, I think it was under $10, or maybe it was like a 12 or 15.
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I might be able to pull that up. I could pull up some price points on these actually. They were all fairly inexpensive, and up until recently, we were talking about this. They were pretty inexpensive on second-hand places, eBay and stuff like that. They weren't too bad if you wanted to get a hold of some of these. Of course, now we're talking about it. The prices are all going to go up. Plugger's influence. Let me pull these prices up, though. Yeah, we can keep moving on, but.
So then we got the 7315 Solar Explorer, which is this was one of my most favorite ships that ever came with spacemen that wasn't space.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is listed as a sub-theme of space.
Yeah, we can argue about that in a little bit, actually, because I was going to bring that up to all of you guys, but it's not. Yeah, see, I'm kind of in that same boat as well, that it's not really a sub-theme.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Even though it has all the aliens and everything, but there's a reason for that as well for me. And I think it backs up what you're saying, Andrew. And I'll pull that up in a second here. But
well, I mean, we're talking about Mars, right? So that brings it to, okay, this is reality. This isn't Blacktron, Mtron.
Sure. Right.
Space. You know what I'm saying? This is the Earth and Mars and normal stuff, right? Plus all the white decorations and the similarities on the astronauts.
Yeah,
were also different.
Somewhat normal stuff. Actually,
very
documented. All this stuff is actually on Mars.
And this ship actually looks really cool when you take out the center modular piece.
Mm-hmm.
You put the ass on the front.
Yes. Yeah, because you can use that
chip.
center. You can kind of use the center modular. Honestly, if you had more than one of those, putting them in a line, making them look kind of like a hangar or like a camp, like a solar tent type thing. As part of the base
that's a solar panel on the top of that. So
exactly, yeah. So that set was only $35. The one we're looking at right now, originally.
Ridiculous.
And the one, you're right, Andrew. The little the T3 trike was $10.
Yeah.
Those are nice prices.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to adjust for inflation, though. Like when you go and you look at them, and I remember looking at some of these prices, at least in Canadian dollars, and adjusting for inflation. The Canadian dollar was really bad back in 2001, and some of them are like, oof, I don't know if I'd pay $50 for this, you know, right? Like,
sure, yeah. That's fair, yeah. 2001. I mean, things weren't super great.
I don't even remember 2001.
But I can't. Yeah, it's been a while.
21 years.
Yeah. Part count can kind of help you place those as well. So, you know, it only came with one minifigure. It was a 99 pieces. The little trike one we were talking about.
Right.
So,
right.
you know, you get for $10. That's still pretty good. But
yeah.
This one does it come with let's see, 3 minifigures.
It's got the whole 3 astronauts. Or except it doesn't have assistant there, but it's got the 3 named ones. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Something I really liked about this one was the way that the back end was put together.
Mm-hmm.
Slugger was talking about earlier how he doesn't like the rounded look, but those pieces, the rounded arch pieces there on the back, the 4 pieces, they look pretty good on this set.
I agree.
They even look good when you have the center out and it's flipped up and it's a smaller ship. It even looks good there.
It is. It's a clever use for those, I think.
But again, I don't think it would work if it was round. If it was like Blacktron, Mtron.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think because it says Mars, and because we're at Earth and Mars and we're more like normal like regular real life, it works and it's okay. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't work like what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the cockpit piece as well too.
Yeah, the windscreen.
Got that one kicking around right here. Yeah,
beautiful printed piece. Yep, there it is, dude. What a nice piece.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat looking cockpit piece, and like it's like the original Millennium Falcon. They had that sort of same piece on it too. Yeah,
I was wondering.
I think this was just a reuse of that element, and with new printing, obviously. But yeah,
sure.
Kind of a strange one, but
it is a strange piece. I really do like it quite a bit. That cut off nose there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You want to show some of those minifigs there, Slugger?
You got it.
Let's run down these guys. Now, before you get into it, I will mention that this was a theme now that most of them or all of them had names, and that was becoming more and more common into the 2000s. So Lego's following a trend here, going from classic no-name just people to actually creating characters.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give us
the rundown. Sure. We'll go down the list here. So,
yeah.
On the far left here, we've got BB, and BB was the young child astronaut, I suppose, that was joining the crew on their adventure. And I think there was something about a contest of some fan winning something, and they got to be BB or something, or they got to design the name of the character or something like that. I don't know. BB's kind of a strange one, and I think the first time BB appears is in a spaceport book that released in 2000 or something like that. Yeah, very, very strange, but they've got the cool chrome blue.
I love the chrome blue.
I was just going to mention that. Yeah,
those are amazing.
They really are
my favorite chrome ever. Is chrome blue. Like, I would try to scoop up as many of those as I can.
This guy over here, this guy's Mac, and again, he too has the same sort of chrome blue. I believe his torso print is exclusive to his character as well too. I don't know if that was ever reused again.
Yeah, you're correct, I believe.
Yeah. One thing that always bugged me as a kid, and it still does kind of, is that BB didn't wear gloves to Mars, you know.
Oh, dude, what?
Gloves on it. You know, assistant didn't either.
I guess if they were in the cockpits of the vehicles, but
yeah, I don't
they're
know.
shown out on the surface, I'm pretty sure. That's
this guy's Doc, I believe, and I think again exclusive torso printing to the character. But obviously that's Steven Spielberg,
right.
Mars,
Well, yeah, what the heck? Steven Spielberg on Mars.
Yeah. And then we have Assistant over here, and I never really liked the name Assistant compared to all the other 3 named characters. They should just give this character a name, a proper name, right? Call him Newton or something.
But isn't he there? Aren't there more than one of him though? Like
kind of. The only difference is that some of them don't have the chrome blue helmet piece. They've got a trans dark blue visor, and just because they wanted to save a buck, right?
Yeah. I always assume. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say those are our human characters. I'll just move them out of the way.
Yeah. So those guys are the crew and all that. I guess with the assistant guy, I assumed he was just a filler type crew guy, so you could build out the crew more with more.
We got a question here from Mirko, asking about the blue chrome being an Aqua Raiders.
I believe he's right. I think there was Hydronauts, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, weren't they green? What was green? There was a green one.
They didn't have the visors, but the bottom piece was from Hydronauts. Or
I think you're right. Yeah.
Raiders or something.
I can't remember.
They had. I think they had the old Aqua Zone.
I think you're right. Yes,
with the chrome blue on there.
Yeah. If so, that this is a pretty brilliant reuse of that piece. I'd say it really fits this theme.
Yeah, I think so.
All the aliens.
Yeah, there's so many, dude. There's so many.
Now, I couldn't fit them all like in a line on a base plate here, so I just had to double stack some of them. I'm gonna try my best with the names. I'm gonna see if I remember them all because there's a lot of them. They're all named after stars. So on the front left here with the sand purple body, this is Mizar or Mizar. I'm not sure which pronunciation goes with that there. In the back here with the blue body, we've got Centauri. With the light gray body here, we have Pollux. With the white body, we have Antares. And these 4 all have dark turquoise flesh tone, I suppose, for the Martians. Most of them do, but Regal over here with the green does not. Now, I did a video on Life on Mars a while back where I talked about the arm pieces breaking and that sort of stuff. And the most contentious thing about that video was people commenting on the pronunciation of this character's name.
Oh yeah.
I want to say Rigel because I think it's named after the stars, right? Rigel, that makes sense. That's how you pronounce the star name, right? But in one of these Lego magazines, they show that it's supposed to be pronounced Regal, and I had a whole bunch of people saying that I was wrong, or they said it should actually be pronounced Regal because he's royalty or something like that. And I'm like, well, okay, cite your source then. I don't know, like. I don't know. So it doesn't matter what you want to call him, I suppose, at the end of the day. But, I was just going off of what the Lego magazine, which is the only official source that we have as to how to pronounce it, said. So whatever. Anyways, he's got a black body and he also has that printed piece that's on top. It's just a 1x1 tile.
Nice.
Yeah. With the tan body here, we've got Canopus. And we talked about Vega earlier with the orange body here. Mm-hmm. Cassiopeia with the original purple body, so that's competition purple from 1999 or 98, I think. Yeah, whatever. It's an old retired color now. I'll try to get rid of these double stacked here. We have Altair in the back with the lime green body, and I think there was a weird misprint that had a medium lime body as well too. I haven't been able to track that one down if it exists. It might just be an error in Bricklink. And then up front here we have Arcturus. And he's got the old Fabuland sort of, or not Fabuland, sorry, Paradisa green, like the color those base plates used to be. That seafoam green. Yeah, that's kind of what he's got going on here, and really bloodshot red eyes.
That one's probably the coolest one out of all of them because of the color.
Yeah. I would agree.
He's much more alien looking, I think.
Yeah. And he got featured on a keychain at some point in time as well too. So I've got that as well. Yeah, so he's kind of molded right into the sled. But
right.
Yeah.
I like all the gear they printed on him too, though. Like, I think that's pretty cool that they have all that cyborg type eye gear and face plates and things like that. It makes them more interesting, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's cool that you have all those to show.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. The thing that was different about these Martians midway through production run, because even the Martians were different throughout the production, was that some of them were molded on pieces that had ears on the side, and some of them aren't. And so I don't know if you'll even be able to see it in a close up here, but there was two different head molds. Like the
Here, I'll bring
pieces
you
are
back
physically different. Yeah.
Bring it in closer.
Yeah, let's see if that'll even focus. I don't know if you see on Vega, he's got these little nubbins on the side there on the corner of his, his face.
I see.
Yeah, and Cassiopeia does not, and it all depends on the version that you have. So theoretically, every Martian was printed on two different types of this piece. I've been trying to track down the reason as to why. I've even talked to some people that work at the Lego Group right now as to why. And some of the Lego Group designers have said that it could have been due to the printing machines not being able to grab onto these faces as well, because they're so smoothed off. So they might have added these ridges for the machine itself to grab on as the printing was applied to help make it a smoother, more accurate print.
That does make sense.
Yeah. So you can collect some Martians with ears and some without. I think my Regal doesn't have any ears either. Yeah, he's got a smooth head, smooth brain Regal. And then you got ones with ears as well too. So yeah, I mentioned it offhand in my video, and then a whole bunch of people started going nuts and checking out their Martians, being like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, now I gotta check mine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So see if your collection has ears or without. So the ones with ears are later into the production, and the ones without ears are earlier in production. And the without ones seem to be a lot more rare than the eared ones. So yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
There's all sorts of weird stuff going on with life on Mars, eh?
Right. We've got two more main sets to look at here. The excavation searcher, which I didn't really particularly like this set.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the tan.
I like, the tan. Yeah, that's
the tan
fair.
messes with me a little bit.
I think it's kind of cool. I like the reverse use of that windscreen. To have the stand-up cockpit. That's fun. It looks like a Scorpion. I think that's obviously what they were trying to go for.
Yep.
I think what I mentioned to you guys right before we started this, the thing I love about this is it comes with an actual chunk of the main base. And you can plug the mechs into those ports and everything like that. So it's really cool. And we can talk about, once we get to the big set, we can talk about the little tubes and what they do and all that in there. But yeah, I really love that this set is the most complimentary set if you had the originals, the big aerotube base.
Totally.
This would be the one to get next to that one, because you get a whole.
Well,
and it's not an insignificant piece. Like when you build it, it's sitting in the back. It doesn't look that big, but when you put that piece together, it's got a ramp and like the whole connection piece in the front, and it's got a tube connector on the back and everything. It's actually a fairly large piece of build back there. So go ahead, Andrew.
Doesn't the aerotube hanger has got like the little ports at the end for like literally like the mechs and everything to like come up to it.
They legitimately like have pegs that plug
and
into
like
them.
Shoot the alien into the machine.
Yeah. It's phenomenal. Like that tech, I mean, it's a little finicky once you put it all together, but for the most part, the fact they pulled it off and it actually works 9 times out of 10 is pretty impressive.
I've never really liked stuff that you had to like punch to get to work.
Sure.
You know, especially with it being a Lego set, right?
Yeah.
And that little hand pump thing that you got to bang down on to force the air or whatever through the tubes. I don't know. It's kind of like a Nerf gun. Like if you need a Nerf gun, get a Nerf gun and go outside, right?
Yeah, it's a little gimmicky, but I don't know. I think that what is also cool about it, though, regardless of whether you use the function, I know we're talking about the big set instead of this one, but is that it actually display-wise looks great with the tubes going through it, and like the big pump does kind of look like an energy coil or like some main like facility part of the base. So they disguise it pretty well if you just wanted to display it or something like that. So I think they did a pretty good job with it, regardless of whether you like the function.
Well, I think most of us nowadays, Jason, are just displaying it.
Yeah. I mean, I still play. I still play with it. Whatever.
Well, I mean, that's okay, I suppose.
No, I'm just messing. But
it's got a huge.
Hang on though. Like, wait a minute. Like, if you build today as an adult, if you build the aerotube hanger and don't at least test the air function on it, like, I don't even know if you're human.
I mean, I've flown my
test.
Blacktron cruisers around the shop.
Okay, yeah. So we're
a few times.
You'd give it a pump or two, see if it actually works.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, this is a cool set. It's the second largest one, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes the second largest one gets overlooked a little bit because the large one shadows it, and then all the little ones are easier to get a hold of. But
they're cheaper, yeah.
But I like it.
I definitely think the tail is the weak point of this set. That tail just being made up of just a few pieces. I had this one as a kid too, and I did enjoy it quite a bit, but that tail was always annoying. It was always coming apart and whatnot.
Yeah, so, it's kind of a dumb feature.
Yeah.
I mean, it works for what it needs to do, but it's like, yeah, you're right. It's pretty weak. It doesn't hold up very well. I do like that it comes with 2 of those orange asteroid pieces.
Biodium or biodium or something. I don't know.
Biodium. Yeah. Biodium meteorites is the secret source of the Martian energy. That's what they power all their stuff with.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. And I thought
it looks like it's the same color as the ice planet stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's cool, and we'll see this actually in my image at the end of this, there's a really, really phenomenal molded part inside there.
Yeah.
And it has a trans neon blue piece inside, which is the actual energy source. So these big boulders are just the casing that pop open, and then they just extract the energy crystals from inside. So it's actually pretty cool. There's a lot of little fun, like you said, like Ice Planet, a lot of functionality, a lot of like, oh, this makes sense. Like, I see why all these things go together and do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Honestly, the more I think about it, it's like one of the best design themes ever.
It's pretty good. I'd give it a solid 9.
Yeah. 8, 9. Yeah, that's fair. There's some funky little things about it. Aliens are kind of weird.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff, and
there's some features that are kind of funky.
The random colors of everything just kind of throws me off a little bit.
Sure.
The only reason I say that is because, like the sand green dish, right?
Yeah.
That he was talking about in the pack.
Right.
Like, what are you gonna do with that piece? Really?
Make sand green mushrooms on my mom.
Sand purple and sand blue and all these colors. Like, I mean,
I can see that. I mean, they're kind of useful to build life on Mars mocks, but maybe a little harder to apply outside of it potentially.
I will say, being a huge castle fan,
yeah,
I am completely disappointed that I didn't incorporate sand blue in my big castle that I'm building.
Ooh, yes,
because you put sand blue with the dark bluish gray and the light bluish gray. Oh my God, what a color pop!
Yeah,
in the stonework.
So I messed up my background. Sorry,
but that's not like weird oddball pieces. That's like 1x2 bricks and 1x1s.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like all these other weird angled shapes and wings and this and that, and I don't. It's just not necessary. You could have used another color.
Yeah, like you said, I think maybe some bricks, more functional parts that you can use across themes might have been nice in some of these colors, but a lot of these are very like exclusive to, oh, here's a engine piece and a door for a base, and it's all spacey type stuff. So
yeah,
there it is.
There's the big one.
Aerotube hanger.
Yeah. So like we mentioned before, there's the air pump in the back. You can put these little Martians on their little sarcophagi type ships and put them into the tubes, and it'll suck them through the tube or it'll push them out depending on which way you turn the black sphere on the back of the base.
That's cool. Is that whole unit in the back? That's all one piece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just plug in the tube on the one side and call it a day.
That's the air pump. Yeah. So you could also just unplug that piece and not include it if you didn't want it up there.
Slugger's got a couple lamps he wants to show us.
No, it's all good. These are from the base. I don't have a whole bunch of stuff handy nearby that's from that aerotube hanger, but these ones are. And the sand purple dishes are set exclusive, obviously, as is the I think the print. Oh no, the print's also on the Recon mech. But there's just a plethora of printed pieces in this theme, right? Like just nonstop printed pieces. It'd be like if you were to imagine Exo Force, but every piece that had a sticker on it was instead printed. That's kind of like what Life on Mars is.
Absolutely agree. Yeah, I was going to mention that. No stickers, all printed. So that's really nice. This base comes with pretty much everything you need. You got an airship. You've got a little worker mech down below. And then like so this is the cool part about this thing is you see the blue receiver, I guess you could call it, the red receiver port, and then the one that's just floating out here with just a little like terminal on it. That's the one you can connect to the tan mech we just saw.
Yeah, the excavator.
And that port built, the port is built with the little arms coming out and a little canopy over it, and it's tan. And so each mech is corresponding colors and has a function for each part of these little docking stations on the Life on Mars base. And I think that's what makes this set so, because I'm like, I got a problem. Like, I'm addicted to cohesion and functionality in Lego sets. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but like, when I see something like this, it adds like 20 points onto anything. Like, So so this is it for me right here. This whole oh look, the blue mech plugs in there. He gets powered up. He does his function, his task. Red one goes there. Tan one, you buy that whole set. You get the tan mech, which by the way can be built tower wise, standing up, or because you could take out the center. Or you can make it a crawler like it is, and he plugs into that extra tube on the hanger. You get the whole works, man. You set all of this up. It looks so cool. There's my rave on that. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that, Jason.
Yeah, you're welcome. I thought you'd appreciate that.
And thank you, Slugger, for showing us the lamps in purple.
Yeah, of course.
So these are all the printed parts, right, from the theme, or not all of them, but a
nice this is not even close to all of them, but it is a few of them. Yeah.
He's showing off some of the accessories that are a part of the base.
Yeah. Very unique prints. You know what's interesting about that is I read online they have some very organic prints. Even though this is a tech civilization, it's an alien civilization, and so you can see like these weird sort of more organic control panels and things printed on some of those.
Mirko's trying to start a fight.
Mirko. I came prepared.
Oh God, you're banned. You're banned from this channel.
Oh no! Well, it was bound to happen eventually. Oh, you did. You've been doing a series on some of these, huh?
I am a big fan of Galador, and
nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Andrew.
We'll grab you for our Andrew hates this theme talk.
Yeah. I even brought Evil Nick today. So this guy here is I won't derail too much, but he's a Lego prototype. He's a one of a kind thing where I bought the chest piece and the head piece from some guy in Denmark that knew the designer or something like that. So I'm all in. I'm all in on Galador, baby.
I love it. That's fantastic. I love Fabuland. So we're basically in the same boat.
Yeah.
Andrew would legitimately nearly cut the stream. I saw his like forehead like tense.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to get like 5 drinks after this now.
I'm having hot flashes right now.
Talk about ruining somebody's night. No, I'm just messing. No, I'm
sorry
happy
about
you did that. Appreciate that, man.
So
here we go.
Here's Jason's mock. I don't know. Did I cut that off that you were showing? You were talking about the blue?
Well, you see them stacked on the top ridge there. There was some close-ups down below, but you guys can pop over to the Instagram if you want to see the whole thing. Yeah, it is cut off a little bit, but that's because of the live format. That's totally fine. The main thing was the ship I built, and this is just a fun little mock I did. Base built, I think, only parts from the aerotube hangar. So technically, this is an alt build, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't think of that till now, but yeah, I think I used only aerotube hangar pieces.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was just fun. I wanted to mess around with it. I never built anything with the Life on Mars, pieces, and I love some of the coloring and some of the weird shapes and things, and so I put this together, and I think it's kind of fun.
It's definitely weird colors.
Yeah, for sure. But it's a good theme, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and yeah. So I wanted to add this to it. You know, have a little fun there.
Well, I mean, you seems like you've got a build for every theme that's ever come out. You've come up with some kind of a creation that meshes really well with the existing.
Some of them, most
of them.
Up until about the 2000s, then I kind of cut it off because who needs, you know, some of that stuff. But yeah, anything kind of past, I've tried to throw one or two things at it, and then of course with Castle and Pirate and some of those other ones, I've added multiple sets and designs and things that I'd like, that I think would expand those universes well. So
yeah,
yeah, man. You know what? We're about at the end. We got to look at everything. I'm gonna bring a couple things I pulled off the internet, just real quick at the end here, a minute or two, and then we could kind of wrap it up.
Sure.
So according to the internet, it's the only space theme that has the humans peaceful with the aliens. That's if it's a space theme, and right, you had mentioned maybe it's actually a sub theme of city.
Brickset says that it's a sub theme of space.
Right. I understand. I do. Yeah, that's kind of what they were saying as well. Here's why I think it could be closer to kind of what you were implying a little bit earlier, is that, and piggybacking off of what you said, Slugger, BB apparently was introduced as a Lego Spaceport. You don't know, that was the Lego City space theme in 1999. It had a training facility, a rocket. It was all very grounded in more NASA style space, kind of what we have now. But the character, apparently, like you said, he was featured in a little comic or something like that. As a kid who won a contest to be trained to go to Mars. So that directly links life on Mars with Spaceport. And then here's another interesting thing. The main humans were BB, Doc, and Mac. BB's head isn't featured in anything other than this, even though they say it was part of that Spaceport theme. Doc's head is in Spaceport as Flex Combo. That's the name of it. Yeah. That's the same head. Like you said, Steven Spielberg, because I think he's used as Steven Spielberg too in the Lego Studio sets. Right. So we got the Doc on Mars as the same scientist that was in Spaceport, same head at least. Here's another fun fact. The red shirts, we'll call them, or the pit crew, the grunts, who are named assistant in Life on Mars, same head as Spaceport grunts.
That's right. Yeah.
So we have these correlations. And then as a one-off kind of fun thing, Mac actually has Jedi Bob's head. As far as I can
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There is that. So I thought I had to bring that in as well. But so there's direct, like, these are linked. Spaceport and Life on Mars. It's like Spaceport 2. They did what they set out to accomplish. The kid won the contest, was trained to be an astronaut, went up to Mars. Here's some of the characters. Looks like they came over with this crew, ended up on Mars, and now they're exploring with these Martians. So it is a direct link to, like you said, planet Earth. It's it's technically kind of based in some rough reality. The planet is a planet near our planet and everything like that. So it's less, like you said, of an actual space theme, UFO, insectoid, right? Ice planet. This is more down to Earth, I suppose you could say.
Yeah, you guys are selling me on that theory there. I definitely came into this fully just believing that Life on Mars is a space sub-theme like all the other ones, but what you're saying makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, so again,
I can't it has listed too. It was listed as a sub of space. Wild Rai Raha. BB was in Spaceport DK book.
Yeah,
right.
That's the one.
So they never, so he showed up in the book, and then he's obviously as a minifig in this theme, but he wasn't a minifigure in the Spaceport sets, is what I was saying. But yeah, you're right. He that's where, okay, so that's the reference we get is from the DK book. So that's almost all. Let's see. So interesting that it is a peaceful. They don't really indicate that there was any warfare or conflict. The astronauts came here, and then the Martians seem to be interacting peacefully with them for the most part. Though I will mention the Martians are pretty heavily armed, which is cool. I like that. It's like, okay, for some reason humans came in peace and we worked with them and learned from them or whatever. But clearly they know that their planet has obviously valuable resources and they have the weapons to defend themselves from other outside attacks that aren't human. So
they only have weapons because they know that there's a black hole that Blacktron could fly out of anytime.
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense, especially considering later when you see the CMF series and things like that, some stuff I think in Space Police 3 that Blacktron started to recruit aliens and other creatures into their ranks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so things get wild later. Couple last things, like all these characters in Life on Mars were featured in the LEGO Racers 2 video game. At least Mac and BB were, as well as some of the Martians. And apparently in the end of Soccer Mania, which is a LEGO game as well, the team travels up to Mars and plays against the Martians in the final like boss level, I guess. So those are some fun little facts about this theme, expanding outside of just the sets themselves.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Well, do you guys have anything else to add?
The only thing that I had as well too, and I guess I don't want to make it seem like it's a footnote because it is kind of something that's significant. I've got it printed out here. I can't really show it or whatever. I'll send it to you guys.
Okay.
But through the LEGO Research Realm, which is a Discord, open public Discord server dedicated towards researching all these old LEGO themes, one of the things that they have been able to turn up is the original story Bible for Life on Mars, which is pretty rare. It might be one of the only themes that we actually have this information for. Yeah. So it's just 2 pages. It's something very simple. And a lot of the things that you've already said are repeated here as well.
Okay.
But I'll send it to you guys. And then maybe if you want to link it in the YouTube video description or something, if people want to check it out later, they most certainly can. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you send it to me, I can probably send it on to if someone messages me, depending on how that works. So,
sure.
Yeah, or at least show them where they can get a hold of it. I didn't realize that. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So that's the official like outline of the theme from LEGO. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. At least it's a preliminary one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a couple things. We have to say hi to a couple of these people. Minifig Collector was in here.
Nice.
Steve just showed up. Sorry,
Hey.
Steve. We're about done. We're moving the show up an hour.
Yeah, sorry if we didn't I posted it on my Instagram, but I remember you're not actually on the Instagram. So now you know it's an hour earlier.
Yeah, Lego Den said, "Where the hell have you guys been?"
I know.
We were
on Mars.
Yeah, we had some initial summer backup on our time.
It's been mayhem.
But we're gonna stick to it. We've already got our list for the next month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
And then we're mapping
it out.
Yeah, we're mapping it out. We have one quick question. Maybe one of you guys can answer this. Wasn't Visor corrupt? Like he was trying to undermine the leader with with another clan of Martians. Anybody know the answer to that? Is that in that story that you've printed out?
That sounds right, but I don't know where I would have gotten that information from, and I didn't see it online.
So there is another website because LEGO was like full in on the marketing for Life on Mars. They had these radio logs that they released. It's like 25 chapters of this stuff. It's all on a website called Biodium Vault, and the last time it was updated was over a decade ago. But it might be in there somewhere. It's not something I'm familiar with though.
That's awesome. I wonder if it was in a LEGO magazine somewhere too. Like just detailed. Sometimes those have some wild information that doesn't line up with anything else.
The Lego Den is asking what happened to Rescue. We've decided we're doing it next week.
Yep, there you go. So that's also the topic of our discussion. So stay tuned for next week. Keep in mind, hour early, guys. So anyone who's jumping in now probably thought it might have been starting. We're just actually wrapping it up.
It's okay, but you can. I mean, if you're starting it right now, it's not like you can't watch it the same. It'll be uploaded to YouTube. You just won't be live with us.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. And we have RR Slugger, obviously, here as a guest. We've enjoyed all the fantastic information and images and sets you brought on to show during this live.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. My pleasure.
Fantastic, man. We really appreciate it. I'd love to have you on again sometime. So
bring me on for the Galador episode. Yeah.
Oh my word! And
dude, you're pushing it.
And cut to black. But yeah, that's all right. That's been an episode of Let's Talk About Lego. So, yeah.
Please, please and like and subscribe, and we'll continue to bring the lovely Lego content.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. You guys all have a fantastic night.
Thanks, Slugger, for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Talk soon.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Take it easy.